Hello, I'm Chris. Welcome back to FRAG-MENTAL. Thank you for joining me. There are a few 1 million fragrances available to buy right now. If you're wondering what the differences are and which is the best one for you to buy, stay tuned. Rabanne's 1 Million line has been on the market since 2008. There are currently a few versions available to buy. I'm going to start off by talking about what the original version smells like, if it's still good in 2024, and then I'm going to talk about all the other options. The original 1 Million is a sweet, woody, spicy fragrance. The notes are blood mandarin, grapefruit, mint, cinnamon, spices, rose, amber, leather, woody notes, and patchouli. Despite being 16 years old, I don't think this is really dated. That's because it's simply a really well-composed fragrance. The fruit, the spices, the mint make it very diffusive. When you wear the original 1 Million, you're gonna have a lovely big scent bubble around you. It's anchored with some richer, darker, heavier notes like leather and woods, which give it a very assured, robust quality. So you get lively, spicy freshness blended with heavier, assertive notes. The result is a very noticeable, mass-appealing, high-quality scent that is almost impossible not to love. The sweet, fruity, rich DNA is still a very popular type of smell today. It's very appealing, very sensual, great for casual wear, evening wear, and those all-important dates. It's a great, fun scent that remains timeless and relevant in 2024. The slight issue with this fragrance could be people's perception of it. It's been around long enough and it's popular enough that people have had ample opportunity to form associations. Maybe they wore it when they were younger at school, so they perceive it to be a little bit dated. Maybe someone had an ex-partner who wore this that they'd rather not be reminded of. So with a fragrance this popular, with a few years under its belt, you have to be mindful of the fact that when people smell this on you, they may have previous or negative associations with it. Of course, it's possible that people could have very positive associations with this fragrance, or maybe they've never even smelled 1 Million at all. Like with any fragrance, it could go either way, positive or negative, but just focusing on the scent itself, it's still very good and still worth considering. I love it. I still wear this. I have no problem wearing it at all. I still think it's a standout in the 1 Million collection. I'd rate this a 9 out of 10. The next one to consider is 1 Million Parfum. You'd be forgiven for thinking that this was just a stronger, richer version of the original 1 Million. It is not. It's an entirely different fragrance with its own unique identity. The notes are tuberose, salt, solar notes, ambergris, leather, cashmeran, labdanum, and pine. What surprised me about this when it was released, and this is what the solar notes in it would suggest, it's a fragrance that reminds me of the sunshine of sunny destinations. I just didn't expect this to take such a departure from the original 1 Million. It would have been very easy to create something that was very derivative of that, but they've taken some creative risks with this, and for me, it really pays off. The tuberose is pretty prominent in this, which gives the fragrance an overall white, floral, indolic smell, but never in an overtly feminine way at all. I'd say definitely more in a unisex way. Throw the sea salt and the coconut into the mix and it seems to recreate the smell of warm skin in the sun after you've been swimming in the sea and you apply sun cream. The foundations of this fragrance are still the original 1 Million, so you get that in the background, but it gives way to this big, voluptuous, salty, white floral scent, which is really quite creative. I think it's a fantastic summer or warm weather fragrance. Because of this, the versatility isn't quite as good as the original 1 Million. I really enjoy it, but because of that slight lack of versatility, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. There's been a bit of an elixir boom at the moment, and Rabanne have certainly joined the party. One of their elixir offerings is 1 Million elixir. Bit of a strange one this. Notes are apple, davana, rose, cedar, osmanthus, vanilla, tonka bean and patchouli. That is quite an impressive set of notes for a 1 Million fragrance. However, it didn't quite do what I expected it to do. I thought it might elevate things in some way, take certain aspects of the original 1 Million and amp them up whilst adding in all these extra notes. A little bit like Dior did with Sauvage Elixir. It doesn't seem to do that. It definitely follows its own path, and I'm not sure it's really the best path because it doesn't reference the original 1 Million really very much at all. It's a perfectly nice fragrance, but for me, it's a generic, sugary, fruity scent that doesn't have much of a distinctive character. It's still an enjoyable wear, I like it, but there's not really much about this fragrance that really asks me to love it. On the plus side for this one, it is pretty versatile, probably the most versatile in the entire 1 Million collection, but overall the scent I don't think is as interesting as some of the other ones. I'm going to give this one 7 out of 10. Hot on the heels of Elixir, 1 Million Royal was released. The notes are cardamom, tangerine, bergamot, lavender, sage, violet leaf, benzoin, cedar and patchouli. In my opinion, this is an improvement on Elixir because it has more nuance, more texture, which gives it more of a distinctive character. It puts quite an emphasis on the lavender, which actually references more classical masculine colognes, which surprised me a little bit, but I definitely think that is a good thing. Blend that with some more modern sensibilities and you get a great overall effect. It's a great scent with great performance. It's a confident, assured smell, yet it still has enough youthful playfulness in there. Also, great versatility. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. The most recent release in the 1 Million collection and the biggest swing of all, Golden Oud. The notes are saffron, nutmeg, black pepper, bergamot, patchouli, gurgeon balsam, sandalwood, leather, oud, cedarwood and labdanum. You can tell by the notes of this one, it's definitely packing some firepower. I didn't expect this from Rabanne. They are definitely going all in on this fragrance, pushing the boundaries of design and perfumery. It's a very strong, bold, impactful fragrance and I absolutely love it. The oud gives it a bit of a Middle Eastern profile mixed in with that lovely sweet 1 Million DNA. It's a great combination. I'm not sure if the oud in this is real oud or not, but it definitely has the impact of real oud, but without being too funky. So if it has the effect, if it has the impact, does it matter if it's real or not? An aspect of this fragrance that I find really interesting and I love, it gives me a hint of damp forest floor, I think is the best way I could describe it. And that reminds me of another fantastic, very popular niche oud fragrance, which does contain some similar notes. It also has saffron and oud like this one does, and that is Oud for Greatness. There's just a little bit of that in there. And if anything, I think the oud is probably more prominent in this than in Oud for Greatness. So the oud is greater in Golden Oud. But aside from the oud, there is still enough sweetness in this to make it a very mass appealing fragrance. It's going to be noticeable. It will probably elicit a fair few compliments. It is that type of scent. I think it's very mass appealing, but interesting and creative at the same time. This is a big flex from Rabanne, and I'm glad that they flexed their big muscles because Golden Oud is a fantastic fragrance. I'm going to give this one a 9.5 out of 10. So which is the best one? Which is the best fragrance? Obviously, I've given Golden Oud the highest mark. I just think right now, this is the one for me that ticks the boxes that I love when it comes to fragrances. It's got power, it's got attitude, it's got depth, it's got creativity, it's got complexity, it's likable, it's got mass appeal, it lasts, longevity is fantastic, projection is fantastic. All these things are going for the fragrance. There's not a lot wrong with it at all. So personally, my favourite at the moment is Golden Oud. If you really like to make an impact and you have similar taste in fragrance to me, then Golden Oud could also be the one for you. If you want something that will kill it in the heat, if you want a good summer vacation fragrance, something solar, something salty, then Parfum is the one to try. If you want something a little more classically masculine, maybe you're a little older, a little more mature, but you still want something that has enough sweetness and playfulness in there, then you might want to try 1 Million Royal. If you want a dumb reach daily driver scent that will always be liked, then the original 1 Million is still a very solid choice. Before I finish, I've just got to mention this version of 1 Million. I haven't included it in the main portion of the video because it is no longer available to buy. It has been criminally discontinued. Why? Who euros. 1 Million Privé is a gorgeous boozy take on 1 Million. You can't buy it anymore unless you pay silly prices on eBay. I don't think it's worth paying silly prices because there's still plenty of other great fragrances out there that are still available that you can buy at normal retail prices. I'd have to give this one a 9.5. I think it's excellent. Rabanne, if you're watching, here's a little suggestion for you. Why not bring back Privé like you've recently done with Invictus Aqua? Or even better still, maybe give us Privé Parfum. If ever there was a license to print money, that's got to be it. I'll just leave that one with you. Let me know what you think is the best 1 Million. If Rabanne did release 1 Million Privé Parfum, would you buy it? Would you be excited about that fragrance? If enough of you say yes, well, you never know what might happen. I hope you liked the video. I hope you find it useful. If you were thinking of buying a 1 Million fragrance and you had no idea which one to get, hopefully this has given you the information that you need. If it did, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you do all that, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.